my name is Julie Burgess. You may know me from Jules Cruise Companion or Exploring Jordan with Jules, which are a couple of other YouTube channels that I have. What I was thinking I was going to do, because I have reached an age where I am not as young as I used to be, and I have an aspiration to retire by the time that I'm 60 and still be physically active. So I have a goal that I'm going to retire before or at 60. I am a registered nurse in Australia. I have had a superannuation fund since for 26 years, since about 1996, 1998, something of that nature. In superannuation in my original time, back in 1982, 1984, 1988, every time you left a job, if it was less than $5,000, it would get paid out to you. So none of that accumulation has ever accrued to my long-term retirement plan. So I have an aspiration to retire on a moderate income and to be able to still have a lifestyle that I feel comfortable and safe with. One of the advantages of being a woman in a society such as Australia, where superannuation has been mandatory for a limited amount of time since the late 1980s, late 1980s or mid 1980s. And I have worked predominantly full-time, where a lot of women are disadvantaged in relation to accumulative saving for retirement because of breaks in service, because of working part-time, other restrictions, taking time off for elder care, as well as for care of children. There's a lot of contributing factors on why women's superannuation to age of retirement is lower than men's. This is not a channel that's going to talk about anything related to that specifically, but I do have to acknowledge that without unions and the influence of unions on policy and decision making, women would not have superannuation at all as an independent income stream for themselves. So shout out to all those unions over the 1970s and 80s that fought for superannuation and superannuation for women. You may, over the course of this channel, get an indication that I am very pro-union, because we would not have any maternity leave, we wouldn't have long service leave, we wouldn't have paid weekend penalty rates. There's a lot of things we would not have without unions. But setting that aside, let's aim for me, Julie Burgess, currently 56 years of age, getting there, creeping towards retirement with dodgy back, a pseudomyxoma peritoni, an incurable abdominal cancer, arthritis, bad attitude, potentially PTSD from working in public health since 1983, divorcee, single parent, carer of two elderly parents, etc. over the course of my life. So there's a lot of reasons why I am a grumpy ass old woman heading for retirement. But I have managed to engage, connect, and have the most amazing group of friends around me that have been able to support me and guide me to get me to the finish line of retiring on or before the age of 60. I have goals and aspirations of this channel, and hopefully over maybe the next 2 years, because that would get me very close to actually disengaging from my current employer, working through the strategies and plans that I have in place, as good or as bad as those plans may be. You've always got to have a plan, whether you change the plan and modify it in the future because it doesn't meet your needs, at least have a plan. And my plan is to disengage, utilize all of the leave entitlements that I have under the award that I work in here in Australia. Very different to other places in the world. And I will also explore on this channel the expatriate parameters and guidelines if I ever choose to live overseas, to make sure that my income, my retirement income, lasts longer. Philippines, Jordan, America, Belize, Panama, any of those places that an income of Australian superannuation may give you a better, more comfortable lifestyle rather than living here in Australia. My phone never stops. There's always messages happening. Absolutely fine. So what the goal of this channel is going to be is watch the painful, exciting, torturous, modified journey of what my next 2 to 3 years is going to be before I hit 2025, which was going to be my disengagement year from my current employer. In the future, I may say who my current employer is. I will wait and see about that. I have, like most people, a complicated life. I have got skeletons in my closet, and I have some absolute fabs and fans in my closet. My life is just as flawed and as good and as bad as anybody else's, but it has been my life, and so far it has been fabulous. I've managed to share that with a lot of people. Hundreds of people have been able to share the experiences that I've had in my life. I will go over cruising experiences, land traveling experiences. I will probably talk about financial advice that I've been given over the decades. I'll probably even do a video about the crazy psychic stuff that people have predicted for me from my earlier days. So that would be just a terrible video. Anyway, everyone's got a story. This is my story. This is Julie, and she is cruising for retirement on or before 60. So that's 2025. So currently I'm in May of 2022. We've just come out of a pandemic. We have had the global financial crisis of 2008. So there's always going to be issues. There's always going to be issues. It's how I'm going to traverse those issues and make a pleasant enough foundation for me to retire in 2025. So I hope you come along with me on my journey. I'll have to find a tagline for this. Jules' cruise companion is stay safe, everybody, and happy travels. I think my tagline for this one is going to have to be something very different. Chins up, bitch. It's we're heading for the future. We're heading to the end of the working line, and we can really relax. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think my tagline should be. Stay safe.